which is to do in most scenarios, or I get switch advantage. So let's see how this plays out. So one wild charge coming through, no fast move coming through, another wild charge. Let's see my opponent decides to double shield here, and they double shield in the last battle. I'm building up to 2 wild charges, so these are getting the shield from the opponent, or I'm taking switch advantage. So let's see what my opponent decides to do. And they go down 2 shields again. So my opponents are deciding to go down 2 shields. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video.
Wendy's, is that you?
Hi, welcome to Wendy's.
And in this video, we are taking a look at Arcanine. Arcanine is an amazing Pokemon. I hardly ever see it. It's so good. And in this video, I'm going to be running Snarl, Wild Charge, and Flamethrower. I'm telling you, Arcanine is just a shield stealer. They just steal shields. Wild Charge is such an amazing Arcanine. Hits so hard. The water types are just scared out of their minds. So if you're ready for this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel, and it's free. So, and I will guys see you when the battle starts. Alright, hopping into it, we got Arcanine, Venusaur into Azumarill. Okay, let's go. So, they did one bubble and then switched out. So, farming up a little extra. Now the Arcanine coming into the safe swap. And this is what I like about Snarl on Arcanine. It gets these moves very, very quickly. And then I can spam out these wild charge, either getting both shields, which is to do in most scenarios, or I get switch advantage. So, let's see how this plays out. So, one wild charge coming through. No fast move coming through. Another wild charge. Let's see my opponent decides to double shield here. And they double shield. Okay, so they double shield. And now look at the Shadow Claws. They're doing so much. So they realized I was going to get to another one. And even though I'm not winning switch advantage here, what I can come and do here is overload a bit with Venusaur on energy. Because Venusaur with energy, even though it may be resisted, unless it's double resisted, Frenzy Plants, like maybe Skarmory perhaps, then Frenzy Plant is still going to chunk. So I'm loading up a little extra energy. Then now we see a Ready still coming in. And then now the Azumarill is coming in. So you're like, hey, this is a really bad matchup. We got this Azumarill against the Alolan Marowak. And you're right, that may be very true. But since I have Hex instead of Fire Spin, they're doing neutral instead of resisted. And then I got the Shadow Bone spamming out over here. So one Shadow Bone coming through, and we get the defense drop. So let's go. And then now this Shadow Bone is going to do more damage than the other Shadow Bone. And then now I realize that they're close to getting to another move, and I need to preserve health on this Alolan Marowak. So I'll throw the Shadow Bone as soon as I get it, not trying to overfarm by any. So we're able to take out the Alolan Marowak, the Azumarill, and then now switching into Venusaur, going for these Frenzy Plants. Like I said before, these Frenzy Plants may be resisted, but they're still going to do a lot. And then now I'm trying to get it into Shadow Bone range, and right here was the CP tie the opponent had to throw right before I got to the Frenzy Plant. And now they're going to be in Shadow Bone range, and that's going to be a good game. So recognizing that I needed a shield advantage over switch advantage really helped me win this game. And like I said, Alolan Marowak is just such a good closer in this meta, I feel like, but you still got to watch out for the waters and the Stunfisk. So let's go ahead and hop into the next one. Okay, battle starting up here. VM 176. Okay, so we got Venusaur into Obstagoon, a very positive lead, or not, it's kind of positive since we're resisting counters. So let's switch into a Golbat. So it's making me kind of think maybe they have 2 poisons in the back because they're switching into the hardest counter. So now I have to pretty much shield anything on this Arcanine. So building up, like I said in the last battle, I'm building up to 2 wild charges. So these are getting the shield from the opponent, or I'm taking switch advantage. So let's see what my opponent decides to do. And they go down 2 shields again. So my opponents are deciding to go down 2 shields, and my opponent smartly undercharges that, and so they get more farm. So not able to make it to another wild charge, but that's okay. So now that we have shield advantage, or we can put in some work with our Alolan Marowak. So that was too quick to be a Shadow Ball. So I'm over farming just a tad bit on energy here. I don't want to get hit by another Poison Fang, so just over farming just a tad bit. That should be enough, which was the KO. Now switching immediately to reset that debuff. And I knew the option was coming back in, so now I got a Frenzy. There's a Nido Queen in the back, like I predicted. There was another Poison in the back. They're trying to bait out the best Poison type answer. And then now, one Frenzy Plant, since it was Shadow, was pretty much enough to take KO after one Vine Whip. So I can safely shield this, get to a Frenzy, or maybe even 2. Let's see. So the extra counter got in, so this is not looking too terribly great. I don't think a Night Slash from this range would KO, but my opponent gets really greedy. They get really greedy there, but they really needed 2 Night Slashes because I had energy on my Alolan Marowak, and that's going to be a good game. So, recognizing that I still need a shield advantage in that one, won me the game. And let's go ahead and then hop into the next one. Okay, finding the opponent here. I got I Am War. Okay, interesting. So we got Venusaur into Diggersby. A very positive lead, so let's see what we do here. And Fire Punch is only going to do about 40%, so I can go ahead and let this go because Earthquake is going to do more. But since I know it's a Fire Punch, I can let that go. And now we see a Skarmory and an Arcanine is coming straight out. We love to see it. And what I honestly should have done here was to throw the Flamethrower and then maybe a Wild Charge so I won't be so debuffed. But as again, you see me build up just a tad bit extra because Skarmory doesn't get to move as quick as the Arcanine. So I'm going for 2 Wild Charges here, 1 Wild Charge, getting the shield. And then, ooh, another Air Slash coming through. And maybe I would have been able to get to the second one here. So let's see if I do. No, just barely not able. And I should have just took shield advantage since I have another Fire type in the back. But unsmartly, I decided to show that up and go for this Wild Charge. But it does take out the Skarmory. And now switching immediately, trying to get off this guaranteed damage with the Frenzy Plant before they're able to swap. So playing very tricky over here. And then now they have a Shadow Hypno in the back, able to make it to another Frenzy. So this is kind of tricky. So they will be able to farm down the Venusaur. So it's, I believe, 3 confusions right there. And then I didn't want them to get to a Shadow Ball against my Alolan Marowak, so I counted. And yeah, so I had to throw it right there, else they were going to be able to get the Shadow Ball if it did have it, which is most likely did. So unfortunate. And then now it's Diggersby. I could have caught, and I didn't think they had quite enough to even get to an Earthquake here, so I thought it was a Fire Punch. Unfortunately, it wasn't an Earthquake, and now I'm not able to get to this Wild Charge in time. And that's going to be a good game to my opponent. So I really honestly should have really not shielded that on the Arcanine. I should have just let it go, like I talked about my past 2 battles. But it's okay, we all make mistakes. Hopping into the next one, we got Venusaur into Nidoqueen. We know how this matchup goes. I don't end up shielding the first Poison Fang, I do believe. Let's see how this plays out. So I get the extra Violent Whip in. This is very, very good for us. So Poison Fang coming through, I don't shield it, and making sure they don't catch. I overfarm pretty much up to 2 Frenzy Plants right here. So I'm pretty much going to be either getting back-to-back or we're getting 2 shields. So that was a CP tie there, which is okay. So I'm going to shield this next one. I want to see if they want to go 2 shields down early, or yeah, they're going to see if they go 2 shields down early or they lose Nidoqueen. So they do go down 2 shields. That's okay. So I can bring my Alolan Marowak in here, so I don't have to worry about getting hit. Now, I knew this is kind of quick to be an Earth Power, so I do decide to go ahead and let this go. Great call by my end, knowing that was a Poison Fang. Just going to immediately throwing the Shadow Bone before I get more debuffed. And now, like, Gastrodon coming in. I should have switched. I didn't recognize at this time I was debuffed, but I probably should have switched. This is looking very, very rough, so I'll get off the Shadow Bone. Yeah. And then now I kind of have to shield this because the Mud Slaps are just doing so much. So I do shield the Body Slam. So this was kind of a core breaker for the team. I should have switched immediately into one of my Fire types, maybe even Arcanine there. But yeah, unfortunately, Gastrodon just swept my whole entire team. Not seeing the water and the ground types up front, it's kind of rough for the team. And you won't believe how much this Shadow Bone does. Watch this. Oh my goodness, that did just so much to that Breloom. It was so close to KM, but nevertheless, that's a good game to my opponent. Hopping into the next one. Let's see what we get. So we got Venusaur into Meganium. This is a very positive lead. So let's see how I do decide to play this one out. So I build up and I try to catch a potential, I don't know what I was trying to catch there, because that was like maybe a Frenzy at the most. So I wasn't even trying to catch the Earthquake. But I switch out immediately to bait up the Water type, which is we see here. And I get the defense drop. And I know I can tank one Weather Ball, so I'm going to go ahead and let this go. Even though it is Shadow. Yeah, able to take it. And then now I get the second Shadow Bone, because my opponent got a little too greedy on energy, I do believe. So now we're getting to the second Shadow Bone. So we do get a shield. And we get them very low. So now I can just come back in and just farm down with this Venusaur. Not before they have to move. I don't believe this is a Blizzard or an Earthquake, so I'll comfortably let this go. And then now I should be able to chuck out some Frenzies on this. Sludge Bombs. Yeah, you don't want to go for Frenzy here. Please don't. So they bait us with the Frenzy Plant. Very interesting. twist by my opponent. So no one going for a Sludge here. Does this get the last shield from the opponent? Let's go see. No, it does not. They're on a little health. We both switch at the same time. It's a Swampert in the back. Okay, so how are we going to do this? I'm just chucking these immediately. Just going crazy with the wild charges. Either single resisted, but they're still going to do a lot of damage. And my opponent gets really greedy and then able to get to a second wild charge. Second wild charge will be getting the shield. And then now they're getting even more greedy. And they farm me all the way down. I had a Frenzy loaded. And now I should just be able to shield this, get off the Frenzy, and then Vine Whip down the Meganium. And that's going to be a good game to my opponent. So recognizing shield advantage, like again, baiting out that water type, very good for us. And then able to secure the win with shield advantage. So GG's to my opponent. If you guys did enjoy today's video, if you stuck around this far, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Comment down below how far you made it, if you have made it this far. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Poke Trainer out.